Not long ago, I did a video entitled something like, "Don't watch this video." One of my better videos to date, and I may be repeating myself a little bit in this video, but this is a message to everyone, regardless of what you believe, what spirits you work with, what type of magic you perform. You are one with the All. You are the source. The consciousness that you are is the consciousness that I am. We are all God, not merely in the image of God. We are all that divinity. Certain forms of divinity are celestial. Certain forms are holy, pure, light. Some are mundane and physical. Some are diabolical and dark. You know that on this channel, I have a propensity to be attracted towards the diabolical and the dark divine. However, even the darkest of diabolical divinities does not really compare to what is being perpetrated against humanity in general. I'm not even talking about current events, although I would like to. Those who have the sight know what's coming. We know the dark days. We know how things will decline. They may even look fine for a little bit to come. But the worst times are yet ahead of us. We're not even there yet. But that itself, those things themselves, though they've got a wicked hold over my consciousness at the moment and causing me actual suffering because I'm allowing myself to be attached, I have not fully let go as much as I thought. I still have attachment to certain outcomes, to certain situations. There's a famous Zen saying which says, "Let go or be dragged." I am being dragged. It's an important lesson. Because the thing that I'm talking about, the thing that is far worse than the diabolical divine, the darkness that we like to work with on the left-hand path, although we are not limited to that, I would like to remind you, you are not limited only to the infernal, to the diabolical. You are not limited only to the neutral even. All forms of spiritual being and path are open to you, so long as you do not submit and allow yourself to be subsumed and subdued. As long as you remain free internally, if nothing else, if not physically, if not any other way, always and forever free inside. That is the left-hand way, at least as far as I've identified. That is the style of left-hand path that I follow. No, the thing which is troubling most of all is that this thing that is happening, it is far more than just an expansive authoritarian system based on lies designed to enslave you and put you in cages, to inject you with things that you don't want. Watch my Marbus video. Everything I said is coming to pass, and much worse. Much, much worse. Watch my Marbus video. Go to my BitChute channel. Watch my Marbus video and tell me every single thing that I predicted through Marbas hasn't come to pass. And I'm telling you, it's going to be worse. But that, right there, if you believe me and you got that tingle of fear, that right there, that is the part. That is the part that is worst of all. More so than the reality of all of the things that are going to go wrong. Maybe not for you, but for many people. I have a feeling that most of us who are complaining right now about this are probably going to have, at least in the minds of most people, egg on our face in a few years when we're back to a semblance of normal life. Oh, of course, we only have to get tested every now and then for illnesses and mandatorily take certain, injections to make sure that there's nothing wrong. But we'll be there playing our games and living our lives. Paying more for everything, sure, but we'll get through it somehow. We always do. Till the next crisis that causes the next collapse of personal freedom. They're just getting you used to it, But as bad as that is, that by itself is not the problem. The problem is the powers that be know that we are all, and I don't mean low-level people, I mean the real powers that be, the ones who are truly orchestrating everything going on. They know, as well as I know, the true nature of the soul, the true nature of the self, the true nature of consciousness. And they know that if they can convince enough people of a certain thing, then they can get what they want. They can literally shape the fabric of reality. They can go through what is called the paradigm gate. They can leap to a reality in which they are gods and we are slaves. If enough of us believe, if enough of us comply, if enough of us agree, if enough of us consent, then they will get their way. But again, even that is of almost no consequence because you are the eternal. You are them as much as you are yourself. No, the thing that is far worse even than those materialistic circumstances has a lot more to do with my last video about being grounded out, about losing your connection to the Force. It is when they cause you, or I should say, when they inspire you to cause for yourself a lower vibrational state in your spiritual, psychic, and mental faculties. When we are all glued to the nightly news, to Twitter and Facebook or YouTube for updates on current situations in the world, when you live in fear, not just of the moment, living in fear of the moment, the existential crisis of being chased by a bear is one thing. It's not actually as bad as it sounds. It's actually a part of survival. But long-term dread and existential fear, anxiety about what's to come, and a feeling of helplessness, worrying about what's going to happen to your prosperity, to your comforts, keeping your mind stuck in the lower two chakra, making you think only about, well, will I be able to have a Thanksgiving this year? What about Christmas? What am I going to do? My governor just got caught eating at a restaurant without a mask, but he's putting people under martial law in my city. I have to go to bed at 10 o'clock. I have to be inside, otherwise I get beaten up. You okay with that? Those of you who fear the microparticle, you're okay with that? Is the cure really better than the disease in this case? Guys, are you sure? I'm just one man. Even wielding magic, I am just one man. I can only do so much. Mostly only for myself. I will thrive one way or the other. My time is not over. But I can feel it weighing upon me like the weight that would be used to crush witches in Salem. I feel it bearing down upon me, squeezing out every bit of my sense of higher vibrational self, squeezing out my sense of comfort, confidence. You can feel it too, can't you? I'm not alone, right? I'm not the only guy in the room that can feel what they're doing. For the last year, longer than that really, but for the last year in particular, they have tightened every screw to the point of agony in our culture, in our society. Every single thing is becoming more and more surreal, moment by moment. Surreality, by the way, is a clue of a paradigm gate effect, as is déjà vu. When you make that quantum leap to another reality, there's a surreal feeling. This can't be real, but it is. Déjà vu. Didn't I just go through this? They have been tightening the screws on everyone. And they've ensured that the maximum number of people possible are in as low a vibrational state as humanly possible. And this hits people in the first world worse. We're unaccustomed to this. People living in harsh cultures, harsh third world countries are used to it. They've found ways to, even in the middle of all of their misery, vibrate on a high level, some of them. You can see it. They're very spiritual still. Regardless of what poverty and hardship and sickness may be around them, they vibrate on a much higher spiritual level. We, as first worlders, with all of our first world problems and comforts, these damn fucking spying devices that we have to fucking keep with us everywhere so that we can constantly get our dopamine fix to see what's going on with current events. And I dare not say, because then this video will be potentially treated like my Marbus video was. Because I saw what was happening and I warned you, and they saw that. They took it down for a reason. It wasn't just because I said a few naughty words or pricked my finger with a needle. That wasn't why they took it down. I spit on this whole thing. I spit on the weakness and cowardice of humanity. But it is what it has always been. It has always been this way. This is the moral of the story of Lucifer. Those who seek to be free will only find it in being cast out of heaven. Letting go of their comforts, letting go of the things that they think matter. Not quite there yet. I'm still fighting for my heaven. But I know, deep down inside, even if I win that, someday, sooner or later, my heaven will fall and I will be thrown out of it. This is the way it is and how it will always be for any chosen of Lucifer, any being that seeks true freedom, anyone on the left-hand path. You will not find it in someone else's heaven. You will only find it when you have fallen and you are cut off and excised. And I don't mean this in the religious sense. I don't care what spirits you talk to. Lucifer is an allegory. It's a spiritual being, but it is a mask for something truer even than the mask. Something fundamental to human experience, to cosmic experience. Virtually every sentient being knows this archetype in some form. I promise you that. And it is the same in every instance of this being. And what they are doing is crushing you down into your lower 2 chakra. They won't even let you express through the solar plexus. What can you do? What actions can you take? You can riot, you can throw bricks at windows, you can join a militia, you can whatever the fuck you think it is. You can go vote. What a joke. What an obvious joke that we all participated in for some reason. And that too, that solar plexus chakra has been denied. Even action is becoming impossible. We're being crushed, made to fear, made to suffer, made to experience pain. Our passions are being shifted from higher things to the lowest possible things. We are becoming more and more like frightened animals, day by day, moment by moment. And I tell you, the worst is yet to come. Not 20 years from now. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope that what I've seen doesn't come to pass this way. But if I look around the world, there's no question that it already has. In a way, the worst is here for a lot of you. I look at people living in Europe. People who are going to have passes to get on a bus. It's here. And it may yet get worse for you even still. I don't think we've quite reached the bottom yet, because there are still people who haven't acclimated to it. And until they do, in other words, it's kind of like that old saying, the whippings will continue until morale improves. That's what you're looking at. They want you down in the lowest vibrational state possible. And admittedly, I've been stuck there. For days, my eyes have been glued to things that had nothing to do with spirituality. Nothing. Completely attached to the world. My own place in it. Feeling powerless and weak. Frustrated. One thing after another. Every month getting worse and worse. In the end, I'll be fine. In the end, most of you will be fine. In the end, there won't be a problem. Transcendence is the point. Transcendence is the key. Learning to let go and not be dragged. That is truly the single most important and biggest lesson that our mortal existence teaches us. More than anything else. Because it gives us great power, but then it gives us great weakness. We have such control over our lives, we think. We have these obnoxious little devices that year by year get more invasive and more obnoxious and more rude. And our bubble of social interaction gets smaller and smaller and more virtual every day. We have more and more taken from us all the time. Yet we feel powerful because I can go on the internet and I can order food and have it delivered without ever having to leave my home. I don't even need cash. If that's not like a magic spell to some of you, it is to someone who's over 30 or 40 or so. Certainly if you're in your 50s or 60s, it's crazy. I don't even have to push buttons to dial my phone. I can just tell my phone to make a phone call. Magic, power, control, illusion, all of it. I know a lot of you are going to say, Thorne, this is your best video yet. Wow, you're so right. You hit the nail on the head. You got so much right. Yes, and what are we going to do about it? How do we improve? How do we make it better? This is shadow work, by the way. This is my shadow work. I opened the gates, as did several of my friends. And we see all around us the result. And some would blame me, but I can assure you I did not cause any of the events that are transpiring around the world. No, no, no. No, my silly friend. If you think that I caused any of the turmoil that you see, that's stupid. Opening the gates to the shadow realm did not cause the events. It caused your eyes to be opened and to see and to face those demons that have always been there. That is what the gates did. On one hand, I could take a victory lap, for I have unleashed that darkness into the minds of everyone who's affected by it. Day by day, thousands, millions perhaps more, become aware of this shadow that they have. What they do with it, however, has nothing to do with my work. I put it in your face. It's up to you what to do with it, and I am struggling right now. We're about to have a holiday, which I won't really be celebrating very much. I used to like it a little bit, although I never really liked the family part. I've always been kind of, especially since my grandparents died, especially since then. They used to have nice Thanksgiving dinners. But, you know, I had a lot of family problems growing up, and even now. I like my wife, and I like my son-in-law. I like my friends online that I've never met. My friends like E.A. Quetting, Flesh Priest, and a lot of you guys that I'm getting to know on Discord. Oh, how I wish that you could be my family. That I could open up a great hall and serve a banquet fit for 1,000,000 kings, all for you. Some of you are beautiful people. Almost enough to bring a tear to my eye to think of how wonderful so many of you have been to me. And that I'm thankful for. And I feel my heart chakra opening up. It's been closed for like a week. Don't worry, I'm not going to cry. I'm getting there. The shadows are wonderful. They're terrifyingly wonderful. They scour us and scourge us. They break us, and they reveal who we are to us. The crisis going on, I told you months ago, the birth pains of a coming paradigm. The paradigm is not the end. It's going to cause a lot of pain, but it's not the end. It's the birth pain of a new world coming, whether we want it to or not. It's a crucible. And by opening those gates to the shadow realm, I've revealed our attachments to a lot of us, to myself in particular. And no, I don't take credit for everybody suffering, by the way. That's not my point. Hope you're not misconstruing what I'm saying. But I know that my work has facilitated a lot of this. I've never seen in my lifetime movements the way I see. Many ignorant people, of course, going the wrong direction, but everyone sees. Everyone sees what was once hidden. Everyone knows what's coming. A lot of you are in denial, perhaps. But you all know. You can feel it. Unless you're completely psychically dead, you can feel what's happening. The same way a gazelle can feel a lion staring at it. Yes, that kind of feeling. Most of us will be passed over. Most of us will survive. Many of us will thrive. It'll be a little tougher. You're certainly going to have to make some adjustments coming soon, I believe. No matter who wins the election, no matter what happens with the microbiological irritant, no matter what happens with those things, you're going to have to make adjustments, even if your guy wins. Even if this is wiped out, there's going to be adjustments coming, big ones, for some of you in particular. Some of you more than others, of course. This, this is a very bland statement. It's a blanket statement. It could apply to anybody. But no. I think you know what I mean. This is going to be a time of heroes and cowards, the wise and the foolish. Well, I intend to be one of the wise. I'm not trying to be a hero, certainly not a coward. I'm certainly not foolish. I want to be one of the wise. And wisdom says, let go or be dragged. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Little advice to everybody who's listening to this. Prepare. Prepare for hard times. I don't mean build a bunker and stock it with 10 years worth of food. Similar to when the microbiological thing arrived in our world, and I warned people, get some food and water. Food and medicine, maybe a weapon. Get about a month of spare everything that matters. Hopefully you won't need it. Work it into your rotation of what you use. Know that you knew it was coming and use that. Find a way to make that valuable to you, because even attachment has spiritual value. People don't really realize that, but they do. Even attachment and suffering has spiritual value. They are not to be shunned. They are not to be avoided. Doing that is just another form of attachment. Saying, "Oh, I got to be less attached. I gotta find a way not to suffer. That's what I need to do." Then you're still attached, and you're causing that much more suffering. Lean in to the direction of the flow. Learn to be self within the flow. We are all one. But each of us can also be an individual within that system of one. We don't all have to conform and be the same. We don't have to join. We don't have to join some right-hand path religion. We don't have to think of each other as brothers or sisters. We have to know that we are part of a great whole. And even saying that we are part is a denial of the truth. When you know that you are what is, you know that what you're doing to yourself. And that you will not fade, you will not disappear, though you may forget, though your thoughts may go, though your identity may be forgotten. What you are is eternal, forever, and not anyone's property. Anyway, guys, if you're still here, Thursday night I will be live streaming on the holiday for Thanksgiving. My wife will most likely be joining me and Flesh Priest. We're going to have a live call-in show, and we're probably going to have a whole bunch of products ready for Black Friday. on our Etsy store. I hope you guys join us. We're going to try to have some fun. We're going to talk about, I think we're going to be talking about cryptids or something. I don't know. Flesh Priest has some ideas, so we're going to be talking about some interesting stuff. I think he might have had the Mothman queued up in his head. That might be the next thing. No promises, though. Join us this Thursday. We're going to talk about some crazy, weird crap. We're going to have some fun, maybe have a few drinks even, and hope you guys can join us Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Every week, that's when I do my live call show. So if you guys want to join us, make sure you bookmark that and come on in. Have a good time with us. Anyway, guys, until next time, this is D.H. Thorne. Mind the shadows.